Those are up there for a reason. And if you figure it out, then more powers to you. And if I explain that 26, the 26 that what's missing are the non-league titles before the Spurs were promoted to the Premier League, or what the old league was before Spurs came in. They have won titles prior to coming in. So when you check everything off, I think in the modern days, I think what they're counting, if you look at it, they're counting the two League Cups, the eight FA Cups, that's 10, the Carabao Cups, that's 14, the Cup Winners' Cup, and the UEFA Cup. So those seven Community Shields are not counted as silverware in the general sense of it. And so when you look at the plaque that has all the winners or all the trophies that Spurs won. The Cup Winners' Cup, not the Cup Winners' Cup, but the Community Shields, the seven that they won, is not included in there. So that is why it is going to show us as 17 titles. I did have 17 up there, but you know what? It might be controversial, but you know what? We have 26 trophies. So for those who are talking about our cabinet being empty, there's 26 shiny ones in there. We may not have won any lately, but it's not empty. They might be gathering cobweb, or we build a bigger one, but have nothing to put in there since we put those 26 pieces in there. But yeah, so I'm proud of my club. Very, very proud of cloud. Yeah, they're in the cloud. The cloudy, of course. I'm very, very proud of Tottenham Spurs. Almost 50 years worth of support in the club. I'm moving the chains here. I'm moving the chains. It's actually 46. I'm going into 47. I was in school when I started rooting for Spurs. I tell the story already, or I told the story already, that my buddies uh, were 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 all Man United and Liverpool fans, and especially with Johnny Barnes, playing for Liverpool, everyone was, because he's Jamaican. Yes, he's Jamaican. So um, everyone was rooting for. Most of them were rooting for Liverpool, and they were and Man United. I don't think I've known anyone in my youth that actually rooted for Arsenal. I don't think so. I don't think I know anyone that rooted for Arsenal when I was growing. No, no. Let's just say it what it is. No, I don't know any. The Arsenal fans I've met it since I became an adult, or since I left high school. Those are the ones I met since then. Some of my peers, my DJ peers, and other countrymen are Arsenal fans, and some bandwagonists. Uh, you know, yeah. But my I don't know how to term it, but my brother, one of my brother, my half brother, his sister is a Chelsea fan. That's the closest I get. Yes, my younger brother, which is my half brother, his sister is a Chelsea fan, and I think her boyfriend or her husband at the time was a Chelsea fan as well, and I think he played for the Jamaica Defence Force, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know anyone who was an Arsenal fan. Yeah, but anyway, my buddies rooted for Man United, and I'll say this, right? I'll say this, that when I first started watching Spurs, right? I was so naive back then, right? I didn't know the difference between the Premier League and the FA Cup, and the League Cup. And so, because when you're growing up in Jamaica, oh my goodness, I'm going to tell a little tale about my life in Jamaica with this. When I grew up in Jamaica, right, back in the 70s and the 80s, I'm a 60s boy. And so growing up, we had one television station, one little old television station, black and white, until we start. I think in the late 70s, or whenever it was in the mid 70s, and it start changing over to Technicolor and all the other stuff. And then you get start getting satellite dish, and you could get up later on in life. But the short of it is that we had one television station in the country, and on Sunday, Saturday, and Sunday, you used to get the Premier League, but they also used to have the rerun of the cup games, like the FA Cup and so on. So I get a chance to watch the FA Cup, and so that is how I get to to love Spurs, because I used to like Perryman, and then later on from Perryman to Ozzy Ardiles and Ricky Villa and Hoddle and Waddle. And when I was growing up, I wanted to be like Glenn Hoddle, right? And then when I discovered Waddle, I wanted to be like Waddle. I think I'm having back pain trying to walk like Glenn Hoddle. Now, Chris Waddle, my mistake, Chris Waddle. And then Gascoigne and all those players from back then. One of the things that stayed with me, and that is my signature memory of everything with all the FA Cups that we won, was the Ricky Villa run, and that coincided with the fact that I started rooting for Argentina, because Jamaica wasn't that good at the time, so I was rooting for Argentina, right, in the World Cup, and Argentina won the World Cup with Kempes and all them boys, so it was like great, and Ardiles was on the team. And so when I discovered that Ardiles was going to Spurs, I was like, yes. And then he took his brother Ricky Villa with him. And that run against Man City is my signature moment as far as Spurs are concerned. If I don't remember anything back in the days about Spurs, that run from Ricky Villa. And then there's a goal um, Glenn Hoddle score that he scored from the edge of the 18 yard. I was rewatching it, and he hit that ball. It was a rebound, and he hit that ball with such venom. Oh my goodness! It was, oh my God! Those two moments I remember, for sure. And so from then on, I've been rooting for Spurs, just by that, just like that. I became a Spurs fan because of all my buddies who were rooting for other clubs. And that's it. That's my thing. And then Glenn Hoddle, like, I love Glenn Hoddle. I love Waddle. Chris Waddle. It was was a great. When I used to be the man with the conversation, because nobody else apart, so even though Man United was winning all those league, we didn't see much of the league. We didn't see much of the Premier League as much as the FA Cups and stuff like that. We used to see a lot of the FA Cups and the knockout games. And remember back then there were two legs that they were played over. So I had a great time as a kid rooting for Spurs, and I'm not going to change